Hi, and welcome to another episode of race vlogging. Rogging? No, that just sounds like a Chinese person saying vlogging. Someone think of a name for me, for whatever this is.
Okay, last guys have just finished their race, so we'll get ready. With plenty of time in hand this time. Mind you, unlike last race, I wasn't trying to decide whether to put wets or dries on. Anyway, so all dry today. Well, today, this race. First race we did pretty well. Started 5th on the grid. Got a cracking start. And by Paddock Hill, we were in the lead. And managed to stretch that out to 3.5 seconds by the end of lap 1. And yeah, carried on that trend until the end of the race. We finished, I think it was 29 seconds in front of second place. Lapped everyone up to 7th. Car was great, even though it was wet, cold, sleety, snowy, haily. Right, okay. So yeah, good race. Nice way to start the season. So now we got all dry set up. It was a bit different last race because I guess so many people were gambling on the weather. Just as we were getting ready to go out, sort of it stopped raining and the sun came out, and if that had carried on, it would have looked like the dry line would have appeared. But I think since it was wet to start, you would get a bit of gap on clear off a bit on the wet, and if it did dry up, you just have to struggle and manage it. But Anthony noted that the rain was meant to be coming again at 1 o'clock, and it pretty much did. So we stayed on the wet setup, and it worked. Some people were on the dry. I think 1 or 2 cars in front of me were on a dry setup, or at least on dry tyres, because it wasn't soaking. But yeah, it's just a bit too cold, too wet to get any heat into them to get them to work. So yeah, we had a good old race. 1 minute. 1 green flag.
Right, I'm going to try my best to fill in the gaps. I'll see how I get on. I'm not sure about this dubbing over the top of stuff, but some people liked it.
We got this low sun again.
So
I got
we
brand new tyres on, so just especially the rears. Let's try to get some.
I love how I don't finish sentences.
Well, that sounds good. I got to get some serious heat into these rear tyres, because being brand new, first few laps could be quite entertaining. I won't try to push it too hard. I always say that, don't I? But I don't want to throw away on brand new tyres. I've only got 1 green flag lap to do it, and Brands isn't exactly a long circuit at 1.2 miles or whatever it is. So yeah, you're going to see me weaving like a mad bastard. Angle that a bit more so I can see it next to me. So next to me is Ryan Steele in his, I think it's a Saxo. Yeah, Saxo, not 106. Saxo. I don't know what's done to it, but it's pretty rapid. We should go have a look at that car at some point, shouldn't we? I think I might have put too much fuel in here because it stinks. I can't be bothered draining the tank and filling it up, so I just bunged another 15 litres in, on top of the 12 litres I put in before that, on top of the 20 litres I put in at a petrol station before we started the weekend. So it's probably got 35 litres of fuel for a 15-minute race. Brands is always a shit place to start on pole, because you see it's uphill, slants to the right, so you just end up pointing towards the freaking wall, and it's really hard to get a good start. So I'm not anticipating on beating a lightweight bunch of cars to the first corner, especially when I'm going to be braking early to make sure I get round it. And there's basically only one left-hander as we go around, so warming up that right rear is going to be quite difficult. it depends how much of a corner you turn Surtees into, but... Ooh, hands posts. Just rile everyone up. Yep, told you they're sketchy.
If I had lost it again there for a second year in a row on new tyres down Paddock Hill, I would have looked a complete idiot. So.
They're squeaking because I just put a set of brand new discs on, so I've got to bed the pads to the disc as well. Yeah, this is going to be a sketchy start. I'm going to have to be careful.
So, I was trying to get away with running last year's discs for this last weekend before our brake upgrade came, but unfortunately, even in the wet race, the brake started juddering quite a lot with the new pads on it. So, had to stick it on a new set of discs for the dry race because I've been using the brakes even more. Yeah, so I'm not freaking out about the new tyre thing, but I'm always quite worried about how long they take to warm up. And Class A's got like 5 really fast cars here, excluding mine. So I know I was going to get pushed into turn 1 quite a lot, and you just can't get a good start from pole. Like the best place to start is like 6th and backwards, because you're on the flat or the slight downhill.
The blood boiling. Yeah, not going to be a great start. I'm going to say that now.
Brands is really undulating, and you can't tell from the video.
Super careful.
Bit of stress creeping in.
Brakes or something.
What's that all about?
Notch it forward a little bit on the bias, so the rears don't lock up and come round too easily.
Yeah, excess rear effort on the rears.
Okay, everyone, race 2.
The start of the race is always a bad idea.
Still lining up? A little bit.
Sometimes this is where the nerves sort of start kicking in a bit. But it's typically not too bad nowadays. The assembly area is what I hate, and that's why I'm always late to it. I hate sitting in assembly for like 20 minutes. It does nothing for me. I get so bored. I don't need that time to focus or calm my nerves or anything.
Here we go.
Just sitting around time. Could be eating.
Bad start.
Oh, it wasn't that bad.
Take it easy. I've got different gearing here than I did last year. So I haven't driven it in the dry yet, so let's see how it goes.
Gearing's slightly taller, so it should make life a bit easier. Between the short sprints between Druids and Graham Hill and stuff like that. But you'll see here I'm taking it really easy on the brakes because the tyres are brand new, the brakes are new, bed into the discs a bit, and you'll see Ryan catches up on the brakes quite easily into a lot of these corners because I'm just being so wary. Especially into Druids here, I think he catches up a bunch of time. Yeah, there you go. But I'd rather not lose it, or lose time with a mistake, than lose control time just by being slow in the entry of a corner. At least you know you're going to get a good exit then.
Doing alright, Saxo's hanging on.
Looks like he's the only one hanging on.
Just waiting for the tyres to come to temperature. Still not up to temperature because it brakes. Takes about 3 laps, 4 laps for these Dunlops to really start working.
This is me with my unfinished or broken sentences again. Jeez. Yeah, the rear's still quite cold. You see it's a bit loose on the rear on entry.
God, I can't wait to get rid of this shifter. Shift the bias a bit rearward now.
Starting to pull a bit of a gap now. As the tyre temps and brakes start working a bit better, you can start getting on it a bit more. But still being pretty conservative. I mean, the gaps we're pulling out, there's no need to go crazy. Mitigating risk, I guess, is the name of the game.
That's going to be a red flag. Poor old David. Wonder what happened there. Looked like there was an altercation with someone on the brakes.
I can't find the video they put up, but basically David got on the grass on the entry, on the braking phase. Oop. I think if you rewind that, you'll see that that moment was caused...
Yeah, the right rear is still not very warm.
Yeah, it's not quite true. I think if you look at it, you'll see that just as I turn in, I have a little lift, and that just puts a tiny bit more weight onto the front end when you already got steering angle on, so it just loosens the rear a bit too much.
Are we still racing?
Yeah, carry on. Yeah, so there's a bit of dirt and mud on the corner entry there, so I thought that was it for lap time. So I thought it was right on the braking line and the turn-in point, which I hugged quite tightly around that corner. So I thought there's no way I could get around it with all that dirt and stuff there. But yeah, he had a bit of an altercation with someone on the brakes, but they didn't red flag it, thankfully.
People going off all over the place.
Oh, there was someone else in the wall at Clearways. I don't know what happened there.
Oh, fucking hell! Literally everyone's going off. Is there oil down?
So I'm trying to think of like every reason or thing to be wary of. The last thing I want is to go off, to lose time, you know, have an accident, just because of some stupid issue like that. Because they're quite slow to put out slippery surface flags, to be honest. They'll wave some yellows, but they don't tend to tell you if there's anything down on the circuit until they've established that there is 100%.
Smells something burning.
can see I'm rather than push the whole overtaking the back markers too heavily, I got a gap, so I take it quite easy. It does mean that the gap back to Ryan does fluctuate. He picks up some time quite easily, but there's enough of a gap not to worry about it. Some of the commentators said that I had problems working through traffic, but it was just trying to be a bit more cautious and not put too much pressure on them, on the Class C guys and B guys to just jump out of the way.
Still behind somewhere, isn't it?
Of course he's behind somewhere. I think you can just see him in the background. I couldn't see him in my mirror during the race, but
bit of damage. Must have been a little bit of contact with someone. Okay. Let's use this new green arrow. Ooh, no, maybe not.
yeah, so they laid some new green concrete on the outside, on the entry to Graham Hill, so I was just trying to align myself with it. It's about 8 inches worth, but you know, give it a go and see if you can pick up a tenth or something just by opening up the corner a tiny bit.
Oh shit.
I had to slow down there because the yellow flags have been waved, so I don't want to overtake this and get a 5-10 second penalty until I cross the next post waving the green flag. So again, Ryan would have closed up the gap bit there. There goes Callum Houchin. I think he had a problem there. The engine was letting him down, or wiring or something. He was having a misfire. I like saying Callum Houchin. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but I like saying it. Weird thing to say. Not his name, me pointing out that I like saying it. Houchin!
Not getting decent lap times. I know there's a lot of traffic, but
yeah, I was really hoping to get my 51 in, but it's just so hard to do. Our grid here was huge. It was like 36 or 8 cars or something.
maybe there's a clear lap around here.
Something ridiculous amount of cars on the track. We got so many classes. We got Class A, B, and C. Then we've got Volkswagen Mark II
Oops.
Challenge or Cup or something with us, and then we got the Track Day Trophy, the Type R Trophy with us as well. So yeah, it's mad. So many cars. So many classes.
Where's that Saxo gone? It must be over there.
No, he's behind you. I think he's just come out of Druids there. So he's doing good to hang on.
I hate this shifter. It's falling apart.
It literally is. I had to order some custom little tiny springs to replace the ones that were broken in the shifter, which is what the issue was. The brass pivots that had mounted.
Okay, we're sitting around 60 psi. It might be a shit gauge. I don't know.
That's just me talking about the oil pressure being a bit rubbish. 60 psi isn't great. So yeah, the shifter, I did spend some time in the next race fixing it. I had to get some little diddy springs made up because it's not a size anyone really deals with, and especially they got quite a high poundage. So yeah, managed to find some of them. It was down to 2 springs inside. It has 5 in there, so it's kind of helped a bit with the slot.
It was up on the lap there, but never mind.
So again, we're not pushing the other guys. They got their own race to run. If someone was on my arse, yeah.
This thing is definitely down on power. Well, compared to what it usually is.
I'd be pushing through, not worrying so much, but there's no point making other people just jump out of the way. And they're usually very good. They got, they watch the mirrors. They give you plenty of room. So you can see the car he had an altercation in just sweet on the inside of the corner in the rear view. It's just the blue car tucked up, which I couldn't see going past it. Tyres
starting to go off a bit.
They're not. tyres are fine. Just trailing the brakes into the corner a little too deep.
It's actually sweating a bit. Yeah, so the gear lever, look at this. That's in gear. The bottom, the brass sort of ball joint that it sits in is really loose for some reason. I can't wait to get rid of it.
I still can't wait to get rid of it. Yeah, so the ball pivots in 2 brass cups, and those brass cups are flapping around like, well, whatever you want to say flaps around.
The apex speed isn't too much faster than a Saxo. Or Williamson in a Saxo. His apex speeds are pretty high.
I always use quite low minimum speeds at brands. The slow corners, the hairpins. I drop the speed right down and I really V off the corner, and I try to get on the gas from as early on in the corner as possible. There's been quite tight lanes and tight exits.
Someone's taken out the corner markers. Wonder if I can use that now. Knowing my luck, this will be the last lap. Is that oil down? That's slippery.
No, so I think I've changed my top mount, so I've had to really change my packer setup and my bump stop. So I think I put in a few millimeter too much packer, so
Told you, last lap.
hitting the bump stop a bit too early, and it's progressing up in spring rate a bit too early. So if I take maybe 10 mil out, there'll be a bit more travel.
I'm not going to get a clear lap, and obviously everything's going off.
Surprisingly, this is the fastest I've been to date around this spot. So I was thinking up to here, I'm now 7/10 up from the data log.
Oh no, we're half a second up! Oh no, we were in the 50 fucking ones! I want my 51! Oh well.
So just cruising to the finish now. It's the last lap.
Balls.
Yeah, balls. Didn't get it. Almost. I just want to get that 51 in the books.
Bukaki! Dun 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 dun.
Bit of Twisted Peppa Pig theme tune there. Yeah, gutted I can't get the 51s on the books. Think about going.
I don't think very many people enjoyed that, apart from me.
Yeah, think about dropping back into another series at Brands Hatch in a few weeks, just to see if I can get the 51s on the books during a race. It's different to do it in qualifying and in testing and stuff, but just get it officially down as like it's just something I want to do this season.
Oh, perfect time for a mistake. A stutter, sorry.
Yeah, there's a little misfire which crops up Castle Coombe the next round along.
Oh, let's get some more of that Bukaki guy. Oh. I was actually sweating quite a lot in that race. Oh. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a good race. I like Brands. At least we started the year with 2 wins, as opposed to last year, which was a DNF and a DNS, which wasn't great, but yeah.
So I was going to say, if I'd been able to carry on, there would have been a 50, I think they predicted was 51.7, and that was on where I'd got to at that point.
Alright guys, I'm going to call it quits here. Thanks for joining us, if you made it all the way to the end, and I'll catch you in the next one. Au revoir!
Oh.